Are we seriously saying that Aang was swimming around in this awful looking water, totally unaware of both how it looks and how it would feel? Why is Sokka even bothering to fish? This shit doesn't even look like water. I'm surprised the gang would even let Appa into water that looks like this. And since when did they use Appa's swimming as a form of transport? The only other time he really swam was up in the Northern Water Tribe when they were entering, which made sense. Even if Sokka wanted to fish, he usually just does that when they're stopped. And that's not even to mention the whole schedule problem that Sokka's fired up about this entire episode. So if Sokka, the only one actually doing anything with Appa swimming, is the reason they're going slower, then his problem with the scheduling already doesn't make any sense. And we're only getting started on what's wrong with this episode. Wow, Aang did this move obviously just to fuck with his friends here, considering that all the muck went flying only towards them and not behind him at all. Also, you'll probably have noticed that the gang replaced Appa's saddle with this weird little boat setup they've got going.
Well, that explains why I can't catch a fish around here. Because normally my fishing skills are off the hook.
Too bad your skills aren't on the hook.
There's a lot of things off about this episode, and the humor is definitely one of them. Alright, I can see Sokka making a dumb pun like this, and even Toph coming back at him with an equally stupid comeback. But in any other episode, would this result in a round of laughing from the group? I don't think so. Usually the group laughs when there's actually something pretty funny said, not when it's lame on purpose. Which leads me to believe whoever wrote this thought the on the hook comeback was scathing and worth laughing over, which is just like, oof. I heard somewhere once that the graphic they used for this schedule was some kind of planning graphic that was made for season 3 in real life, like used by the creators, and they just threw it in here as an Easter egg. I don't know if it's true, but it's another Avatar myth for you. And about the schedule, it's obviously a problem with the show overall that Sokka decided to make such a huge deal about it in this one episode and never again in the next 5. It almost seems like this episode was written totally in a vacuum, away from the rest of the writing processes.
My name's Doc. Mind if I ask who you are?
We're, from the Earth Kingdom colonies.
I guess they're still using Aang's cover from last episode. Well, I guess it's pretty good.
Look at this place. It's so sad. We have to do something to help.
No, we can't waste our time here. We have a bigger mission that we need to stay focused on. These people are on their own.
Yeah, Sokka feels weird in this episode. This is the same guy that saved the Fire Nation town from Jet, so am I to believe that Sokka only saved that town to spite Jet, not help the people? If the schedule was a really big deal for the rest of this half of the season, I could understand it more, but it's not. So Sokka's just a dick in this episode for basically no reason. We get a set of jaws here that look pretty huge, and I'm not totally aware of a water-dwelling species in the Fire Nation, or maybe even in the Avatar series that would have a set of sharp teeth this size. Maybe a cat gator? They still seem pretty big though.
I'm not Doc. I'm Shu. Doc's my brother. Doc works on the docks. That's why they call him Doc. And I work in the shop. That's why they call me Shu.
Does anyone find this guy funny? Like, is this gag that permeates the episode really so funny that they had to make this joke over and over? I really don't like it.
I don't get it.
You don't get it? What do you mean you don't get it?
Hey, I'll give you a special deal. If you buy 3 fish, I'll throw in a clam for free.
Wait, these are clams? I always thought these were frogs. Clams have straight up eyes in this world? Yeah, looking at it now, there's no way this is a normal schedule they'd use. All Sokka's schedule would need to be at this point by the day of Black Sun. Go at least this far per day. So are you guys just drinking hot water? Doesn't look to me like there's anything in it. But they also couldn't have it be vaguely soup colored, or you'd think they were drinking unpurified river water, which seems pretty foul. So I guess it's just hot water for dinner tonight. This pot has an Earth Kingdom symbol on it. Where did they get that? They haven't been lugging it around with them, and I don't think they found a pot with this design in that town.
What's the matter, Katara? I think Appa's sick.
He must have gotten sick from being in the polluted water. He doesn't look sick.
He doesn't? He looks messed up to me. I know he's just acting, but he's doing a pretty good job. Okay, Momo licking Appa's tongue because it turns out it's just berries that made his tongue purple is a cute touch. I also want to point out that this dude totally has hippo teeth. Shu is related to Hippo. In fact, Shu might be Hippo, considering his multiple identities. This kid's hat is so big on him, he cut an eye hole so he can see. I mean, that's one way to do it.
Would you like the one-headed fish or the two-headed fish?
Two-headed. What? You get more for your money that way.
He's right.
Okay, I actually like the design of the painted lady. It's pretty cool, but I still have to be a dick and wonder where Katara got this outfit from, especially without the rest of the gang noticing that she bought or ganked it. Once again, the healing system is weird. Katara is healing the sick here, not the injured. Can water healing just cure like diseases and ailments? I guess it fixed Jet's brain when it was all jacked up, but that was weird too. I don't know, this just doesn't seem right.
Thank you, painted lady.
Oh my gosh, it's Katara? We better play this off as a weird slight reveal here. Of course it's Katara!
Our friend is still sick and we can't leave until he's better.
Wait, how does the currency work here? I thought it was just gonna be on the bronze, silver, gold system, but it seems like there are multiple coins for each distinction.
You know, last night she visited us again, healed most of our sick folks.
Is that why this place seems so festive?
Yeah, put up the painted lady statue we carved and painted in one morning. Yeah, get that shit up there. Nice touch that Toph still sleeps in her Earth tent while these three sleep outside. What? Where'd all the pollution go when she turned it to ice?
Wait, but I'm the great bridge between your world and mine. I know Hey-Bye. We're close personal friends.
Alright, okay, that's a nice little reference. For anyone that doesn't remember, Hey-Bye is the panda spirit from back in season 1. Holy shit, crescent moon alert! That's extremely rare in this world. We haven't seen one of those since, well, the episode with Hey-Bye, actually. Also, wait, these ripples would have me believe that Katara is just straight up running on water. From the way she moved, I figured she was like gliding using waterbending. Can waterbenders literally walk on water? Why do we never see that other than right now? Unlucky that during all of the painted lady festivities, they also decided to install this random pole on this one roof.
No, you're really pretty for a spirit. I don't get to meet too many spirits, but the ones I do meet, not very attractive.
Hey, Ko had a nice face like 12.5% of the time, depending on what you're into, and I think Wan Shi Tong was quite dashing.
I wasn't at first. I was just trying to help the village. But since everyone thought that's who I was anyway, I guess I just kind of became her.
No, it's a full moon again. Why? We can't even have a non-full moon for an entire episode? Come on, man.
No, I think it's great. You're like a secret hero.
Well, if you want to help, there's one more thing I have to do.
Now don't worry, Aang, it's just a light smattering of eco-terrorism. Hello, it's me, the least memorable mini-boss since this guy.
What's going on?
Fire Nation soldiers are heading to the village.
Speaking of soldiers, we're in the Fire Nation, right? Would this factory have soldiers on its payroll, even for security? It's early morning right now, so I doubt anyone found the damage and called in the military in this amount of time, especially for the reason of go intimidate / destroy this town, right?
Well, what was I supposed to do?
Leave! Do nothing!
No! I will never, ever turn my back on people who need me.
I mean, yes, I get it. This is a good moment for Katara, but man, we've already covered this. This has been a big part of Katara's character since season 1, back with Haru. We don't learn anything about our characters or the world, and our characters certainly don't evolve in this episode. We're just retreading things. And I kind of feel like Sokka in this episode talking about it. We're on a tight schedule here, man. We're getting down to it. Why are we retelling Imprisoned right now?
Wait! I'm coming too.
I thought you didn't want to help.
You need me, and I will never turn my back on you.
Sokka gets a nice moment here, I guess, and gets to pay back Katara for having his back when he wanted to go see his dad, so it's not all bad.
You steal our food, our medicine.
They did? Did Katara do that? Because she just used her water healing, right? She didn't steal anything.
The painted lady brought us food. She's the one that healed our sick, not your medicine.
Oh, right. The mysterious painted lady did it.
I had this statuette on me for just such an argument.
And I suppose she drew the army emblem on your containers, too.
That's an army emblem? That doesn't look like any emblem the Fire Nation has ever used to my recollection.
Light it again!
What is this thing anyway, and what were they gonna do with it? And where does it go in the next shot?
It's the painted lady. She's coming.
I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a reference to Poltergeist with how this line is delivered. Weird.
They're here.
So remember when I said I didn't like the Return to Omashu Plague escape plan? I think this has the same problem, even more so. It's a cartoonish solution. Doing this big fake painted lady thing with Aang doing hidden bending stuff from just out of sight, it's just sort of lame, right? And yes, this is a cartoon, but this show does things better than just being a cartoon usually. It's creative and interesting and visually compelling. So when I say the word cartoonish, I mean that it's not living up to what Avatar is usually known for. Oh, a rare use of bad slow-mo in Avatar as well. What does having this shot in slow motion accomplish? It's not an intricate moment that the viewer would need a second to figure out or internalize, and it's not a very impressive shot visually. So why is this shot in slow motion? Where did Aang just shoot this guy? His back was to the entire town, but Aang just air blasted this man and we cut to him kind of just falling into the water.
You have to help yourself.
She's right. But what should we do?
Maybe we can clean the river.
Ugh.
So, Doc, are you gonna help us clean?
No, ma'am. I'm going to get my other brother, Bushi. He loves cleaning rivers.
Okay, that's the one joke I think that works for me. Having a personality trait of loving to clean rivers is funny.
I knew you were the same guy. You're the shop owner and the boat guy.
Oh, you must be talking about my brothers, Doc and Shu.
No, I just saw you. You switched hats and called yourself a different name.
But it's immediately followed up with the worst comedic moment in the episode. Wouldn't the joke be that there actually were 3 different brothers, not that the one guy is all 3 of them like everyone put together immediately? I guess it's just an anti-joke that doesn't really land. So yeah, the pollution is Earth-based, I guess, since Toph can bend it. The factory's making metals, but is that how that works? And another full moon the next night for good measure?
Thank you.
Hey, get back here. I gotta have a word with you. I just did your entire fucking job. Get back here. So as you can probably tell from everything I said in this video, I think this episode is awful. This is my least favorite episode in the entire show. Everything feels off. Sokka feels out of character. The schedule thing never comes back. The comedy feels like early season 1 comedy. Basically no action. The climax was stupid. And we're retreading in prison, one of the other worst episodes of the show. Katara helps a group of people that have been cornered and subjugated by the Fire Nation, making them feel like there's nothing they can do. By the end of the episode, Katara not only helps them, but teaches them to help themselves as well. It's in prison. Why did they do in prison again, of all episodes? And the worst part is, this is basically just as much of a filler episode as The Great Divide is. I'll name the tiny elements that come back from this episode. The eclipse being 8 minutes and the jet skis both come back in the Day of Black Sun, both of which could have easily just been mentioned and seen when they happened in that episode. The only other thing that it gets is a mention in the Ember Island players, just like The Great Divide. Even last episode, the headband had Combustion Man at the end. It had something to do with the whole story, but not this episode. Now, I'm sure this is some people's favorite episode. I'm sure some people really connect with Katara's story and can really get something out of it. That's the beauty of Avatar. It's for everyone. So if you really like this episode, don't let me stop you. And maybe I was harder on this episode than the other ones that I like, but personally, it's just not for me. Patron shoutouts. If you want to be 2 episodes ahead of the YouTube releases, you can support me on Patreon for just a few bucks. Link, as always, is in the description below the video. Yep, somehow we still have people in the don't tier. Agent Rhino, Luke Herrera, and Zoompi. Really, guys, I've been thinking about this for nearly a month now, and I have nothing to offer that's worth this tier. So all I can say is thank you. And you're looking pretty good today, too. Shoutouts also to my otherwise top patrons, Andrew Edwards, who can put a rock in his mouth and spit out a diamond. Buddha Jacker, who can put a USB in the right way every single time. Caps Lock, who can build IKEA furniture, not just without instructions, but blindfolded. Charlie Rock Quigley, who is your sleep paralysis demon. Daniel Ward, who thinks that dream he had when he was a kid was just a dream, but it wasn't. Eric Barney, who I saw eat a ghost pepper, stone face, didn't faze him. Etc., who created the alphabet, the English one. Crazy. Fetch Me Something Gay, who looks like they can't breathe in outer space, but they can. Fritz Sullivan, who was voted unanimously best looking by 3 entirely separate and very specific demographics. John, who I saw talk his way into the starting lineup of the last Super Bowl. Keith Clausen, who has nice hair as far as nice hair goes. Sean Martin, who single-handedly stole the Hope Diamond just now as you hear this. And You Freaking Nerd, who weirdly produces their own natural Wi-Fi signal. And of course, more shoutouts go to my other fuck you money patrons. Anthony Selesu, Donnie Snow, etc., Kennedy Stapleton, Mandatory Sin, Max Lewandowski, Mike the Wizard, Nick Kaipainen, Sad Wallet Noises, Skylos, Tiago Nascimento, Varunda, Wolfman Dan, and Will Schmidt. And my god overanalyzers too. Ed Nguire, Alex Fritz, Andre Larios, Austin Gallup, Be My Valentine, Bingo Dingo, Cabbage Gal, Canine Corpse, Kevin Yage, Chase Brinya, Chris Dolmeth, Code Canut, David Carlisle, Derek Cornwell, DJ Jax, Do Mutual Aid, Dr. Uwu, Distant, Earth 2 John, Eleanor Rose, Epic Goomba, Xmeyer, Ginny from the Block, Flintlock, Homie One Kenobi, Hype King, Jared Hagen, Jay Lambo, Jeremy Rubenstein, Jimbo, John Ajaka, Kadax, Keon Gilliland, Lady Serena, Lehman Russ, Mr. Airborne, Mitchell Gobrecht, Mortius 007, Nick TV, Omar, Nicholas Abbott, Parker, I Hardly Know Her, Peyton Mims, Peter Bayron, Sergeant Painkillers, Skylar JB, Spaghetti Hose, Steinwan, Super Snipper, Tentabat, The Rainy Man on Heelys, Travis Chestnut, and Triad Juice. Jesus, there's a lot of you now. Next up is Sokka's Master, back on track.